Hey, Ursula here. Hey, today we're in the backyard taking a look around. During our little cool snap that we had, I was able to get at the back here and do some weeding. I finally uncovered my dye pots, and hopefully we'll get some of that going this next week. The other thing that's going on is the skunks finally have left the area. And this compost pile that I stacked up inside a wire, this has got to get moved because it's interfering with the peach tree. So that's a thing to do. There's a lot of things to do back here. But I excavated a lot of things. And we're going to take a look at a few places the deer still keep coming through. There's just one deer. This is tarragon, by the way. This is going to be a dye this week. Maybe. We'll see how far I get. But one area that the deer likes to keep coming through is here. This was a sunflower. Maybe. Let me see how chopped and chomped that is. I did not do that. That is somebody who's hungry. Yet they left this one alone. Because why? Well, I have these poles here. They won't go through that. And there's a lot they can't get through. They're eating over here. They've been eating some of the black raspberry leaves. And they had been eating my cucumbers. This section is done. I did weed it, and I planted some red beets in here. Some of them will work. I don't know if they'll all survive. It's a dry again. It's going to be hot again. We'll see. It's a fall crop. This gets partial shade. The back, although it's been weeded, needs to be replanted with something or mulched. I'm going to try and keep the ground covered because Mother Nature is shy. If you don't cover her, she will do terrible things. They put bindweed everywhere. One of the things I've been doing this week is harvesting some beans. I don't have many of these. These are purple beans in here. So everything that's left in here is going to get... we're going to let it grow for seed. I don't know if you can see that. I can barely see that. They're so hidden. But yeah, we're going to let those guys get fat. I got to water up here. I haven't watered up here yet. Let me zoom out so you can see the monstrosity I had to build here. I never got my trellis built in this, which is just as well. The deer was coming through here and eating all the tips of the cucumber off. So I made a PVC structure and clamped some tulle around it. I got these great clamps from a place called Circo Innovations, and they're fantastic. They just clamp right over, and you can put your either your winter agribon covers on or shade cloth or whatever. But yeah, I've got baby cucumbers in here. We'll see if they make it. The other vines succumb to mosaic virus, which typically happens this time of year. Not seeing any on the vine right now. I've got an entire refrigerator full. The other thing I did was I companion planted beets in here. These are going to, not beets, radishes. Sure, I can speak English. Radishes were put in here to help deter bugs, because bugs chewing on the cucumber is what spreads the mosaic virus, or so I'm told. But yeah, those are radishes going to seed. So this seems to have worked over here. The other side over by the beets, not so much. I didn't get any radishes in there, so that already succumbed to some kind of beetle. Let me show you the tomatoes. I hadn't planned this. I actually planned on having this clipped to the fence, the grid walls, and instead I ended up with something more like a floor to weave. Let's see if I can back up. No, we don't want to go in, we want to go out. All right, so what I ended up doing, this is less than 2 feet, is I have the grid walls, I have end caps, which are supposed to stabilize it, and it looks like it kind of tipped over time, but this is another trellis I had a previous year, and I just staked it, and it's doing fantastic at holding these tomatoes up. I got cucumbers on the brain. Now, what I planted in here versus what I have, those are two different things. For the most part, I'm seeing black plum tomatoes. I thought I had planted purple Cherokees in here, and I do actually have some of some type of heirloom that's really big and fat and juicy, but we're getting a lot of black plum, which is fine. I'm going to be slicing those and turning those into dried tomatoes because I am totally out of dried tomatoes. And some of these escaped to the outside world. See if I can climb through here. And are growing outside the confines of the cage I made, and that's fine too. They seem to be really good at finding the and grabbing onto the grid wall without clips. I suspect the bindweed may be helped. See, I cut the base of the bindweed, but that worked really nice. Who knew that bindweed could be useful? So these are doing really good. I have not been able to get in here to cut suckers or anything, but we're just gonna let them go. These are all indeterminates. They'll keep growing until we finally get our frost. You can see some of them have black spot. That's due to inconsistent watering. It was really, really wet when I planted these, and it is no longer really, really wet. So we'll get rid of a few of them, and that's fine. But for the most part, I'm going to get a pretty good harvest out of this. And I'm pretty pleased with that. Now let's take a look at the upper garden. The upper garden's almost done. I have a fall planting inside started. These were supposed to be Roma tomatoes. They're definitely determinates. But when you cut these open, they certainly do not look like Roma tomatoes inside. At least not this one. So I'm not quite sure what this one is. I mean, it tastes good. This one over here, this is my Roma, I think. I'm looking, they could, depending, there could be some black plum in here too. So I'm gonna have to start with actual seed packets if I want specific varieties next year, because my seed saving and my skill set for labeling said seeds definitely lacking. There were 2 giant zucchini plants in here, no longer. We got quite a few zucchini out of it. I think 6 pounds of zucchini. I had hoped for 10. One of the zucchini plants did not yield anything, and eventually they succumbed to a vine borer of some sort or a beetle. The beans are laying absolutely flat. I got a really good yield out of these, and was hoping for them to pick up a little. Like I said, I do need to water. Some of them are doing good, the ones that are in partial shade part of the day, but the ones that are in full sun, the sun's just too strong for these guys. And you can see the leaves are diseased or chewed or something. Not quite sure what's going on there. But I did get a good crop out of this, and I'll probably get another picking out of the ones that are in partial shade part of the day. And then I've got to, like I said, I got to soak this down really good. It's going to be up to 90 degrees tomorrow. That's probably more intense than this should see. And then once the heat wave goes away, I need to cut back more of my jungle. You can see we were asked what we were growing at the farmer's market. We told them bindweed. And that's a pokeberry. So those need to go. I've got some tansy back there. That was planted on purpose, and that's going to get harvested for a dye bath. So there you have it. That's what's going on in the backyard. Got plans for next year because the raspberries died out. And that's okay. It's going to change. It's going to change. We're going to get rid of this bindweed and build up the soil in here and plant something else. So take care, everybody. Hope your gardens are thriving despite the weedy season.